Hello, welcome. My name is Eric Heaton. I'd like to thank you for watching this video on the negative side of drone strikes in Pakistan. This video is for Arizona State University Political Science Class 361, Dr. Charles Ripley. Today I'm going to give a very brief summary of what has been happening in Pakistan, what allows it to happen, and the reasons why it shouldn't be happening at all. Are we really winning, or can we win, the hearts and minds of the population in Pakistan? Let's look at the drone strike operations from beginning to present. U.S. has been using drones in the rural provinces of Pakistan since 2005 under the Bush presidency. Most of these drone strikes are performed in or near the Fateh province in Pakistan, which can best be described as a lawless tribal area in the mountain regions bordering Afghanistan. To date, 325 individual strikes have occurred. 2,820 people have been killed in these drone strikes, and another 354 people have been injured in these strikes. This data is available to view at www.satp.org using keywords drone and Pakistan. Of the 2,820 killed so far in the drone strikes, roughly 90% of those were killed in the 8 years of the Obama presidency. This was a drastic uptick when compared from a month-to-month or year-to-year basis from the Bush administration years. What has allowed us to increase our drone presence here, or what has allowed us to strike Pakistan at all? To know a little bit more about that, we need to look at national sovereignty. Pakistan has given the United States permission to use the drones in these selected areas. To understand sovereignty, we need to look at and acknowledge the Peace of Westphalia Treaties of 1648. This is essentially set the legal standards for the world at the time, and for the most part, to this day, acknowledging sovereignty rights of nations. A nation that is legitimate has sovereignty over its land and its people. This nation makes laws for its land and the people and defends its land and people. Sovereignty can be called into question when a state cannot provide these things. Pakistan, however, does provide these, and therefore it is legitimate for Pakistan to give permission to the United States for drone strikes, as they have the sovereignty of that land. In the article, The Use of Drones in Pakistan, an Inquiry into Ethical and Legal Issues, Mahmood Ahmad discusses such legal issues. I like that he delves into these legal and ethical elements surrounding Pakistan and their drone strikes, and he gives a lot of insight into the ethics of doing this at all. Those that argue for drone strikes in Pakistan often say it is in the best interest of U.S. national security. The war on terrorism crosses sovereign borders, and we must follow them there. They also argue that military necessity, this would be, we must use the lethal force on these combatants where we can find them before they can re-enter the battlefield. Drones are only to be used, and they state that they have only been used when all other methods have failed in dealing with these people. An example would be, we couldn't capture them or we couldn't kill them in the battlefield, so we followed them home and we blew up their house, or we blew up where they live, where they reside. That doesn't fly too well with a lot of people, and some of the reasons against drone strikes that we need to focus on are simple and are core principles, actually, of the United States. These drones kill and maim innocent people. They kill and maim people that were not the intended targets. In Mark Pope's article, Reporting Beyond the Pale, UK News Discourse on Drones in Pakistan, he does a great job in researching and brings to light the reality of these drone strikes and the media's not so truthful telling of the issues in regards to the drone strikes in Pakistan. We're not at war with Pakistan. and we're certainly not at war with the people of Pakistan. So we're in this quasi area of legality here. One thing we need to look at when we're in this area is Pakistan using our drone strikes to carry out their own extrajudicial killings of people that they do not desire in their homeland? Some articles, including those by Ahmad and Pope, suggest this, and Pope's article actually flat out states it. That being said, Pakistan should spearhead the removal of these people from their lands. They should turn over these people to the U.S. if they're captured, if that's what they want. The United States should not be used as the executioners in the night, taking out the trash that Pakistan does not want in their territories. Intelligence coming out of Pakistan is often marginally credible at best. In our book, Intelligence and the U.S. Foreign Policy, Paul Pillar describes intelligence as being something that can be politicized. How much of this intelligence that we get from the Pakistani government is politicized, since this is a lawless, undesirable area of their country? Mark Pope, in his article, describes the uncertainty of reporting of high-value targets. He expresses how the government possibly constructs identities of targets, meaning that may not be the person, but here, this is who he is. Go ahead and go get him. Are we getting the true background of who these people really are, or are we just indiscriminately killing people who maybe are undesirables in that country? We kind of don't know with the limited information that we're getting out of the Pakistani intelligence forces. These strikes are happening in Pakistan on non-state actors, meaning they're not a state military. It's hard to distinguish them between a civilian. We're also doing it on sovereign soil of an ally of ours. I want you to take just a second to stop for a minute and think, what if America was not as powerful as we are? And what if, let's just say that Mexico got tired of cartels running drugs through Nogales, Texas, and they took it upon themselves to say, hey, we're going to go ahead and take out some of these undesirables. And they started just indiscriminately killing people in homes, blowing up homes in Nogales, Texas, because cartels use that as a way station into America. The legality there for us, it's you can draw a similar comparison. We wouldn't like that. We certainly wouldn't warm up to the Mexican government if they were doing things like that. They wouldn't be winning the hearts and minds of us. So we need to look at some of those things. We need to see if we're on the right side of the law, and if we're on if we hold the moral high ground on that. Are we winning the hearts and minds of the population? I don't think we are. I don't normally like to use that terminology in times of war, but then again, we're not in a time of war with Pakistan. So I think it's appropriate to ask that question: are we winning the hearts and minds? We surely won't win the hearts and minds if we continue killing innocent people from airstrikes. On the ground, it might just look like we're killing brothers and sisters and uncles and fathers. And these people most definitely are going to remember that. And I think it rings true that we are probably creating more of these people than we're eradicating out of there. In closing, I'd just like to say, we can't have the moral high ground. We can't be the shining city on the hill. And we'll never win over a population as long as we are striking people and essentially doing our dirty work from the sky. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.